Alright, you bastards, this is Some-Belgian-prepper, and today I want to talk about one of my favorite moments of prepping, and that is the harvest. Because the harvest is like when you get your, not a degree, but how do you say this, evaluation, like in when you're back in school. Through the whole year you have been working, and then at that moment you see how well you have done. Yeah, you can see the progress usually around during the year, but at the end you see everything that you've gathered. And today I want to talk about something more than just the harvest, and that is an experiment that I've been working on, and that is blue potatoes. Uh, yeah, I have not heard about it before I started before I saw it and thought to myself, maybe I should try to plant one of these because blue potatoes they have good and bad qualities. Uh, if you can see what a blue potatoes is, if you can see, they're very blue on the inside. I cut this one open for so that you can see it. And the thing is, these potatoes are more resistant to weather, to moist, and that kind of stuff. But there are downsides to it. Like if you can see, this is the biggest potato that I've grown, and usually they are uh, around this smaller size, and often also in this kind of size. So the potatoes are much smaller, so you have more work when you're going to um, um, cook them for food or something. But yeah, what they lack in quantity, I would say they make up in quality. And what do I mean by that? This is about a 10-liter bucket that is already full, and I only harvested from this growing bed and two smaller growing beds. And yeah, I must say it is a big yield, and you will not say this is a big yield. You can grow more, but the thing is, uh, the weather in the last years have been very unpredictable. Seasons are starting to shift a little bit. There is this year has been a lot of rain. I mean, I was afraid that all my potatoes would get fungus because it was so moist. This year, it was unbelievable how much water there have been fallen. And the year before there was a drought, so all my potatoes were, yeah, they were just shivered because of the extreme heat that is very unusual. So that's the reason why I tried to try out blue potatoes to see if they are more strong in this kind of extreme environment. And like I said, the downside is you have less bigger potatoes and less potatoes perhaps, but during even during these circumstances, I have this yield from only 3 growing beds, and in my opinion, that's already been a good one. And I'm not even talking about the insects because perhaps the insects have not been that big active because of the extreme weather conditions. And also, I have I have how do I say this? I've let down a little bit of the work in my garden because I've been away from for 2 weeks, so a lot of weeds were growing between the potatoes. So yeah, and also with my work and this kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm not full time of gardening, and even with that, I have this yield of potatoes from only 3 growing beds. I'm awaiting what the yield will be from these growing beds behind me. So yeah, I have a good feeling to about this. And the potatoes in those beds are just the regular potatoes. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. I try some diversity in the families of potatoes that I have, and I tried out something new, like I said, with the blue potatoes, and that is what I actually want to make as a point. You know that you will learn from it. I have not tried out these potatoes. Many people would say would not like to eat a blue potato that looks like this, but how bad can it be? It is about getting your calories and your nutritional value from food that you grow yourself, and you will be able to grow further in the future. That is what I'm trying to do. Now I can make the mistakes. Now I have the time to make mistakes, have the time to experiment with different types of potatoes and see what works best with the systems that I got, because I made a big mistake in this growing bed by uh, I have I have not dig deep enough to make the soil very loose, and the problem was because I did not mix the soft soil and the more sturdier soil. They formed a layer, probably because of the how do you say this? Probably because of the much waterfall from from the extreme rain of the last months. They probably formed a hard layer, so they only grow above that layer, and that's why the yield in this big growing bed was lesser than the one in the smaller growing beds. So that's a mistake that I made, that I can learn from, and can avoid in the future. And that is actually what the point is about this video. It's about learn to experiment, learn to do diversity in your garden for extreme weather, insects, that kind of stuff, to get bigger yields. Learn to get green fingers with systems like the system that I use is all the plants that I from my guinea my the how do you say this, the manure from my guinea pigs, the droppings I use in my compost with all together with other plants that I threw away. That compost I use for my as a soil to better the soil of my potato beds, and that will gives a lot of good stuff to grow the potatoes in. And that's a sort of vicious circle that I'm trying to create, that I'm not dependent on how do you say this, fertilizers from the stores and other stuff. These are things that I want to do myself for year after year without the with being less dependent upon stores to get a good harvest every year. So yeah, it's about trial and error. The last 2 years I have failed because of extreme heat, and the year before I failed because of Colorado beetles that ate all my potatoes. And this year, yeah, the yield is pretty good, I must say. So yeah, trial and error, that is very important as a prepper to learn to accept. You will make mistakes, uh, but now you can afford to make mistakes. So yeah, I hope you will have a good day. I'm going to try these out and eat blue fries. uh, I hope they will taste as good as it sounds. So yeah, we'll see about that. So thank you for watching, see you in the next video, and cheers.